Just imagine that for a second, deciding just once to throw out everything you've ever learned, everything you believe, not just some opinions, but, well, everything. The sky, your own body, even simple math. To bring the entire building of your knowledge crashing down, just so you can find out what's truly solid at the very bottom. That is the absolutely radical and kind of terrifying project that René Descartes set for himself.
All right, so let's dive into this incredible journey of the mind. We're going to follow Descartes as he literally dismantles reality piece by piece. He's going to come face to face with an all-powerful deceiver, and then, right there in the absolute pit of doubt, he finds one single unshakable truth. And believe me, this journey completely changed how we think about, well, everything.
So here's our roadmap. We'll see why Descartes thought his knowledge was built on a foundation of lies. We'll follow him as he doubts his own senses, and then we'll meet his malicious deceiver. From there, we'll see him discover the one unshakable truth, and finally try to figure out what it even means to be a thing that thinks.
Okay, first up, the motivation. I mean, why would anyone do this? Why this complete obsession with certainty? What was so broken about the world's knowledge that Descartes felt like he had to hit the nuclear reset button on his own mind?
So this is our guy, René Descartes. And you gotta remember, he was living in a wild time, the scientific revolution. The old ways of thinking were just crumbling as guys like Galileo were rewriting the rules of the universe. Now, Descartes was a brilliant mathematician. He was used to the beautiful, clean certainty of proofs. But when he looked at philosophy, all he saw was chaos and arguments. He wanted to give all of human knowledge a foundation that was as rock-solid as geometry. Descartes had this powerful realization. A lot of what he'd been taught growing up was probably false. He pictured his entire belief system like a house of cards. If even a few of the cards at the bottom are crooked, the things you learned as a kid, then the whole structure you build on top of them is just waiting to collapse. His solution? It was pretty bold. Don't wait for it to fall. Tear it down yourself, on purpose.
And that's how we get his famous method of doubt. Now, this isn't just being a little skeptical. This is skepticism as an extreme sport. The rule is simple but brutal. If you can find any reason to doubt a belief, no matter how small or crazy that reason is, you have to throw it out completely. Treat it as false. Only the beliefs that can survive this trial by fire get to be called certain knowledge.
So if you're going to doubt everything, where do you even start? Descartes goes for the most obvious target first. Our senses. Seeing is believing, right? Well, maybe not. He makes a really simple point that you can't really argue with. Our senses have tricked us before. We've all done it. You think you see a friend from far away, but it's a stranger. You see a stick in the water and it looks bent. And as he says, it's probably not a good idea to completely trust something that has fooled you even once. And just like that, you can feel the first crack forming in the foundation. I mean, just look at this. It looks like it's moving, doesn't it? But it's not. It's a completely static image. Right now, your own eyes are sending your brain faulty data. Our whole picture of reality is built on these signals, and if they can be this wrong about something so simple, how can we possibly trust them with the big stuff? Now, Descartes knows what you're thinking. Okay, fine, illusions are a thing. But come on, I can't doubt that I'm sitting right here in my chair, feeling the warmth of the fire. That's just insane. It seems like a pretty solid objection, but Descartes is ready for it. He comes back with the dreaming argument, and this is where the doubt gets really deep. Think about the most realistic, vivid dream you've ever had. While you were in it, it felt totally real, didn't it? This is the core idea behind movies like The Matrix or Inception. So here's the killer question. How can you prove with 100% certainty that you aren't in a dream right now?
That whole cozy scene by the fire? It could just be a story your sleeping brain is telling itself. There's no test you can perform to prove you're awake, because any test you could think of, like pinching yourself, is something you could also dream that you're doing. And just like that, poof, the certainty of our own immediate reality just melts away. But wait, Descartes thinks he's found a lifeline. Okay, even if I'm dreaming, even if my body is an illusion, some things still seem true, right? The truths of math and logic. Whether you're awake or asleep, a square has 4 sides. 2 plus 3 still equals 5. This feels solid. Surely this can't be doubted. And just when we think we found some stable ground, Descartes pulls the rug out from under us one last time. He's about to unleash his ultimate weapon of doubt, a thought experiment so wild it pushes us into a total abyss of uncertainty. This is the final boss of doubt. Forget faulty senses, forget dreams. Descartes says, just imagine for a second that there isn't a loving God, but instead an all-powerful, super-intelligent, and completely evil demon. And this demon's one and only goal in life is to deceive you about absolutely everything. It's kind of the original brain in a vat idea.
This demon's deception would be total. It could create a perfect simulation of the world around you. But it could go so much further. It could be powerful enough to mess with your own mind, to make you believe with all your heart that 2 + 3 = 5, when really it equals something else entirely. It could be tampering with the very laws of logic.
And that's it. We've hit absolute rock bottom. There's nothing left. The outside world could be fake. My own body could be an illusion. Even math and logic could be a grand deception. The demolition is complete. The house of cards is now just a pile of dust on the floor.
But it's right here, in this total darkness, in this absolute skepticism, that Descartes finally finds it, a single spark of light. He was looking for one fixed, immovable point to rebuild all of knowledge on top of, and he finds it at the very bottom of the rabbit hole.
So the question just hangs there, doesn't it? After tearing down literally everything, after imagining an all-powerful demon is tricking us, is there anything left? Anything at all that we can be sure of?
Yes, there is one thing. Think about it. I am being deceived. I am doubting everything. I am wondering if I exist. All of these things, doubting, wondering, being deceived, they're all types of thinking.
And that's the giant breakthrough. For the demon to deceive me, there has to be a me there to be deceived. In order for me to doubt, I have to exist to do the doubting. The very act of thinking is proof of existence. My thoughts and my existence are completely inseparable. And this, of course, is the famous Cogito. Cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. It's not really a logical argument, so much as it is a direct, undeniable insight. It's the one thing that survived the trial by fire. This is the bedrock, the new foundation.
Okay, so this is a huge deal. Descartes knows that he exists, but the job isn't over. The next massive question is, what is this I that exists? What is its fundamental nature?
Well, let's follow his logic. At this point, he can still doubt he has a body. That could be part of the demon's trick. He can doubt the whole world is real. But the one thing he absolutely cannot doubt is that he is thinking. That's inseparable from his existence. And that leads him to a pretty mind-bending conclusion. If he's 100% certain that he exists as a thinking thing, but he's still not certain he has a physical body, then his most essential self must not be physical. He concludes that at his very core, he is a mind, a consciousness, a thing that thinks. And this idea, as brilliant as it is, immediately creates one of the biggest, most persistent problems in all of philosophy. If the mind, this non-physical thinking thing, is totally separate from the body, this physical machine, then how on earth do they interact?
This is the famous mind-body problem. How does a non-physical thought, like I'm going to lift my arm, actually cause your physical arm to move? And how does a purely physical event, like stubbing your toe, create the very private, very mental feeling of pain? This puzzle, born from Descartes' search for certainty, has kept philosophers and scientists busy for centuries.
And so that's the question we're left with. Descartes found his foundation in the thinking self, but he also kind of split the human being right down the middle. So if you are, in your essence, just a thing that thinks, a kind of ghost in the machine, what does that really say about your identity? Who or what are you really?
Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for more fascinating videos from Plato Beaggins. Please leave your thoughts and comments for further discussion. Have a great day.